welcome back to another video. I'm actually starting a new series. Normally I just do penny roll hunting and nickel roll hunting, but I figured I'll give you guys some education on coins. So I recently did a video on the 2009 penny, and it was explaining what the 2009 penny was and why it was made and why it has a different design. Well, today I'm going to be talking about wheat pennies, and I'm going to start a new series, and I've decided to call it What Is It? So, today's series is What Is It? And we're doing the wheat penny. So, yeah, so let's hop right into the video. So I have a bag full of wheat pennies here, but a lot of people don't even know what a wheat penny is. Some even don't know that wheat pennies existed. Well, in the year 1909, before 1909, there was a penny called Indian head pennies. I don't have an example of that, but they looked a lot different than an ordinary penny nowadays. So nowadays we have what's called a shield cent, and it has a shield on the back of it, and then, yeah, of course, like Abraham Lincoln and the date. And, well, before, what was it, 2010, I think. When they first created the shield cent was in 2010. Before that, we had what we called a memorial penny, and a memorial penny was the penny with a with a memorial like on the back of it, and yeah, it looks a lot different. I don't have an example of that either. But when they first started creating memorial pennies was in 1959. So what was before that? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you today. Before 1959, back in those old days, most of us are not alive. Were not alive back in 1959. So before that, we had pennies called wheat pennies, and these pennies were a lot different. I have an example of those up on the screen in our bottom left corner, and that is the design on the back, on the tail side of a penny. So as you can see, it looks a lot different than a penny nowadays, and it's called the wheat penny because it has those little wheat ears kind of sticking out, and then yeah, it definitely looks a lot different. I remember the first time I found one of these, I was so excited, but I didn't know what they were, so I had to figure out what they were. And on top, as you can see, that one is the 1909, so it has the same kind of design on the front of it. But so yeah. Anything else here? So as you can see, it's really faded out there. That picture that's lower, I'm sorry, it's kind of blurry, but it says 1 cent and then it says United States of America. So that's the design that they literally had on pennies. So it definitely looks a lot different, and we're not used to it now. Like, if we found one of those, we'd probably this is like a foreign penny. We'd be really confused. But if you look at the date, it's gonna be in the range of 1909 and 1959. The cool thing about these pennies is that they can be worth a lot more money than pennies are. Pennies are only worth 1 cent, as most of us probably know, and ordinary wheat penny under the date of 1958 is about 2 or 3 cents alone. So you're already kind of making a profit. Well, you don't really necessarily, if you find a wheat penny, you don't want to just sell it on eBay or whatever. You kind of want to hold on to it, because especially if it's in good condition and it's uncirculated, like this example I have here, you might not be able to see it very well, but this is a very bright colored wheat penny. And as you can see, it's got that little design. It's got that design on the back of it. Let me see if I can put it under the microscope here. Yeah, so it's got that design on the back of it, United States of America. And here, let me turn this. Shoot. Let me turn this down a little bit so that you don't get that glare. I don't know. Yeah. So it's got that. So it's kind of nice. So I got one of these. I can't remember where I got these. I actually might have gotten these for my birthday, like last year or something. I don't know. And I got a whole roll of these 1958 pennies. Well, I was like, oh my gosh, these are so cool. I should probably sell them. I would totally make a ton of money. But in the condition that this is in, I mean, it's in really good condition for a penny that old. Like, nowadays, we'll find a 2018 penny, we'll be like, oh my gosh, this is in such good condition, it's so bright. But think about if you found a 1958 penny that looked like that. You don't want to go sell that, because, think about it, if you keep that penny for the next 50 years, this is going to be a penny that's out of the ordinary. This is going to be like one of those really, really old pennies. Because think about it, in the next 50 years, I mean, we'll probably have, like, another penny design. I mean, and the shield cents will turn into the memorial cents. And the memorial cents will turn into, like, the wheat pennies. And the wheat pennies will turn into, like, those really rare pennies that nobody finds anymore. And so you'd be able to sell them for a lot more if it's longer. We all don't want to do that because we're like, well, I want my money now. Well, you don't want to do that because you'll get a lot more money in the future. Let me show you. So, I find my wheat pennies, I have all these wheat pennies here. I have a huge handful of wheat pennies, so yeah. There is a lot of wheat pennies. In fact, all of these under there's so many wheat pennies under there. And I have a ton of different random dates of all these different wheat pennies. So, yeah. And I have found all of these doing what I do, like, a lot on my YouTube channel. I found all of these in just penny rolls. And you can get penny rolls in a lot of places. You can get them at the bank. And, I mean, sometimes even, like, stores and stuff have them. I don't know. You could probably ask for them. I don't know. I go to our local bank, and I get, like, $25 boxes of pennies, which are, like, this big. And they have, like, 50 rolls of pennies just stacked in these little boxes. And you open them up, and they look like this. So they look like this, and there are 50 pennies in there. It says 50 cents. So there's 50 pennies in there. This is actually an uncirculated roll of 2018s. So like I said, I'm going to hold on to this thing for a long time. I have like 31 rolls of these back there somewhere. I have 31 rolls of these. And, I mean, think about it. 50 years from now, these are going to be worth a lot of money, especially since they're uncirculated. There's pennies in here that haven't been touched. So, like, seriously, haven't been touched. So these can be worth a lot of money. Even now, this is probably worth like $10. I don't know. So yeah, you can make a lot of money off of these. And even when you go to the bank, sometimes you'll get a roll, and a lot of times it won't have it will have random pennies in there, and so you might get stuck with some shield cents, some memorial cents, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll find a wheat penny. Well, I found probably 50 or so wheat pennies just searching through rolls. And you guys can go check out other videos. I'll put some videos, like some of my best videos where I find a ton of wheat pennies. I'll get like 30 rolls of pennies or something, and I'll find like 20 wheat pennies in all of these rolls, and I just get super lucky. Well, a lot of times, I recently went to the bank actually, and I got another 30 rolls of these. So now I have 60 rolls of uncirculated 2018 pennies. You'd think you'd be super excited, but it kind of sucks when you waste a ton of money on pennies, because you're hoping to search through them and find some cool stuff, and you get stuck with pennies that are all the same date. They're all 2018. So, yeah, if you're watching this in the future, it might be 2019, 2020, or whatever. That's beyond anything that, yeah. I don't know what it'll be like in 2028, so, yeah. What else was I gonna say about the wheat penny here? So here, let me show you a few examples of some wheat pennies that aren't 1958. So, there's 1957, 1950. Here's 1950. That one has an S Mint mark. That means it's from the San Francisco Mint. Show you a few other examples here. You know what? Let me go to there. So here's an example of another wheat penny. This one's 1940, no mint mark. That means it's from Philadelphia. As you can see, it's definitely worn out a lot. You can see the words. It just looks it just looks worn out, so you can really tell. But it has very good detail on the wheat ears, and that's what a lot of penny collectors look for. Very good details on the wheat ears. Let me try to find an older one, like a 1930s or 1920s. I found this one. I remember when I found this one. This was awesome to find. 1926. This would probably rack up probably 50 cents or so. I don't know. But it's definitely worth a lot more than an ordinary penny nowadays. Because an ordinary penny nowadays is probably worth just 1 cent. Unless it has an error on it, which it's pretty uncommon. There's a 1955 penny. It's mainly the 1955 S. 1955 Sacramento is worth quite a bit of money. But it's also known for what they call the 1955 double die penny. And it means that some of the letters on it, like Liberty and United States of America, and even the date, 1955, is doubled. So they stamp it twice, but their stamp gets offlined a little bit, and so they end up getting stuck with a penny that has the date in two different kind of like areas, and you can see it's like overlapping each other. So those pennies are really cool, and those are worth a lot of money. Some of them are worth like $1,000, some are worth $10. So you if you find one, you gotta look it up, and you're like, how much is blah 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 worth, or like how much is the 1955 double die penny worth? Nowadays, the 1955 double die penny, if it's in good condition, it's worth a lot of money. So if you ever find one of those in the penny roll or whatever, definitely hold on to that. You might even be able to sell that now for a lot of money. Well, that'll pretty much do it for the video. Wait, hold on. Enough talking. Hold on a second. So you can also get these books at, I don't know, depending on where you live, you have a store called Hobby Lobby. It's a great store. They actually have these there. Otherwise, you can just get it on Amazon or eBay or wherever. And it's a book from 1909 when they first started to 2009 when they yeah. So it's got all of these in here, and it has all the wheat pennies and all the pennies leading up to 1909 or to 2009. Sorry. So yeah, that'll do it for the video. Or probably this might be a premiere. I'll try to make it a premiere. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it. I'll see you guys later on Eli Coin Nation. Give me some other video ideas in the comments, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later.